Family Islanders, beware. You're reportedly the target of a new trend for illegal immigrants. Harboring, hiring, and now traveling are the area's senior immigration officials say they're closely zeroing in on. Now they say a new trend has developed. It's one where illegal immigrants are reportedly blending into Bahamian society by traveling to family islands. Director of Immigration Jack Thompson and members of his top team spoke exclusively with Clint Watson.
Illegal immigrants are reportedly fleeing to family islands in hopes of blending into society, and according to Immigration Director Jack Thompson, they're being coached and supported by residents.
In terms of taking a ferry or taking a private boat or taking a mail boat or what have you, I'm moving into our islands, and I shall not name any islands at this time, except to say that all this is going to do now is heighten our awareness, heighten our program. I can't put out there what I know and what I suspect and what our strategy may be. But I would like to take this opportunity to put all and sundry on notice that we shall do what we must do.
Assistant Director of Enforcement Forestine Major Smith, who resided in Grand Bahama before moving to New Providence, says the Northern Islands appear to be hot spots, as the Bahamas for many illegals isn't really their final destination.
Many of the illegal people, move through Grand Bahama, or they land New Providence Island and make their way to the north, I suppose, because they're closer to where they want to go to the mainland USA. We find that that's one of the trends that we would have discovered. And Chief Officer Joseph here, we work closely with Grand Bahama Island, the enforcement team there. Additionally, Bimini, because Bimini is even closer to the United States. And so we find that those are some of the trends in terms of their traveling.
Thompson says residents on the family islands, especially those officials, should be extra vigilant and should not turn a blind eye.
People know strange and new faces when they see them. You see people coming, showing up in your community. Well, I haven't seen you before. You know, how do you get here? Where's your passport? Passport stamp? You know, I mean, what flight you came on? I don't want to go beyond that. I don't want to go beyond that. I want to sound the alarm. I want everyone to know that this team, we know some stuff. We're on to some stuff. Any more than that, I may be going too far.
Immigration officials say there's simply just no way of knowing how many illegal migrants are out there and how many are accessing this new trend to evade capture. But Thompson says, be that as it may, they're still relentless in their pursuit.
We will spare no efforts in terms of trying to locate, identify these persons and flush them out of the system, wherever they may be, and return them where they should be.
Marriages of convenience are said to be another emerging trend among some illegals. We'll take a closer look in our next report. Immigration officials says they're aware of a number of new emerging trends that illegal immigrants and those harboring them are doing. He says they're on to them. They're not going to say much at this time. They're just going to simply take action. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Members of the Grand Bahama business community heard about plans to improve the telecommunications system in the country. The chief executive officer for BTC addressed the business leaders during a meeting in Grand Bahama this afternoon. Joan Davis-Roll has the story.
Chief Executive Officer of Cable and Wireless Bahamas Telecommunications Company Jeffrey Houston told members of the business community that the company is about to invest over $40 million in building a first-class telecommunications network in one of the most envied countries among third world nations, the Bahamas.
By the year 2020, 80% of all access to the internet will be via a wireless device. So that really says to us a big part of our play in the Bahamas is to build that wireless infrastructure, which will enable people and businesses and communities in the Bahamas to really start to participate in that whole new communications revolution that's coming at us. And so our big objective is to drive very quickly into that, and our first foray will be to build a whole 4G network right across the islands. What that means, to get going. It's an initial $43 million investment. We've started the build already. In fact, most of the equipment's already arrived into the Bahamas for the Phase 1. And Phase 1, you'll be pleased to know, includes not just New Providence, but Grand Bahama.
Hot on the heels of what many described as Cable and Wireless tumultuous introduction to the Bahamas, the most controversial in the company's history, Houston says they're determined more than ever before to win the hearts of Bahamians.
And probably more importantly for a lot of you folks in this audience, and this is kind of, again, where we see a huge opportunity for BTC. Coming into a business like this, our expectation would have been that the business would have had significant market share within the business community. Unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, that's not what we're seeing. So we feel actually, given the networks that we have and the solutions that we can bring to businesses, that we also have a huge opportunity to win back a lot of new customers.
The top executive outlined the recent launch of several new initiatives by BTC's marketing team led by Marlon Johnson. He announced that these changes will pave the way for the introduction of more promotions just in time for the Yuletide season.
In amongst building a new mobile phone network, launching a new high-speed broadband offering, reducing our prices, restructuring the business, lowering our costs, fixing the contact center. We also want to do this as well and get a new suite of retail stores starting to roll out this side of Christmas.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS News.
Keep those Family Island stories coming. We surely love hearing those stories and sharing them with the rest of the country. So email us at finews@znsbahamas.com.